Okay guys, can we start our discussion now?
Yeah, sure.
As we know that our Nature Society of our university is organising a Nature Week. So, what do you think is the best activity that should we do? So, Liana, what is the best activity you think?
For me, I think organizing a camping trip to a forest reserve for all of students in this university, like in our course, is one of the best activity that we can plan. We can plan. I think that a camping trip will strengthen the bond between the members and the students itself, and it gives more advantages than disadvantages. The only thing that we are lacking now is the amount of money that we can the amount of money that we need now. But then about money, we can settle that matter with is probably not a big matter. So another advantage of a camping trip is we can increase knowledge about nature itself. Like for example, if we go on a camping trip to a forest reserve, for example in a forest, we will take note on the type on the species of trees, species of animals that we can find in the forest itself. Other than that, teamwork spirit will be instilled in all of the students that involved in the camping trip, because in camping trips, teamwork activities are one of the main purpose of doing a camping trip itself. And lastly, it helps to build and improve our resilience, which will improve the inner spirit of ourselves. Yeah, so with that, I think that organizing a camping trip to a forest reserve is probably the best idea that we can organize, that we can do for our nature week. So Anissa, what do you think?
Oh well, I do agree with you, Lena, for the fact that camping trip is the best activity for Nature Week. But then, I think, in my opinion, I do believe that organizing a tree planting activity is way better, or should I say, the best activity that we could handle during the Nature Week. This is because you know that we are organizing this Nature Week simply because our main objective is to sustain the nature, to take care of the nature, to make sure the nature is in a good condition. So I think that organizing a camping trip is a good way or a good activity to actually to raise awareness among our members or among the students of this university. But then I believe that tree planting activity is a more evergreen activity. Why do I say that? Is because that it is, and people keep on saying, we have heard quotes like action speaks louder than words. Like all these kind of raising awareness activities, they are not as the quality is not as much as this kind of activities. Like tree planting, we do it. We really literally do it. We plant trees to make sure the amount of trees on earth increase, compared to when we just raise awareness and we are not even sure how far or how long the awareness will stay in ourselves, even though and then I do agree that tree planting is also tree planting activity is the best activity that we should handle or we should organize in this Nature Week, because besides that we plant trees, we in this way we could actually cover what we humans had did to the nature. Like we actually cut off trees for development, for papers and all this kind of stuff. And I think this is the great way, or should I say the best way, to recover what we had cut off. Like we are planting new trees, even though it looks simple, but then I think it will later on, when we keep on doing this kind of activities, it will definitely will bring big effect on earth later. So besides then tree planting activity brings great advantages to the nature. It also it also can give the effect of bonding among us, because we do it. It's a kind of group activity. Like you don't plant the trees all by your own, but we have groups. Like we do it together, and this is also the way. And yeah, by doing this tree planting activity, as I mentioned earlier, it will definitely bring bigger advantage compared to we go on trips and we just look at the nature. It's true that we can actually appreciate the nature by looking at it, but then I think it is better, or it is a best way that we ourselves, we will definitely have the awareness, and we are doing it, we are implementing it, and not just by saying that I love the nature, but we do it lah. So I guess by that I think that I would like to suggest a tree planting activity for the nature week. Yeah. So
I totally agree with Anisa's opinion.
Asma, what do you think about it?
Okay, in my opinion, I think that having a trip to national park is a best activity to do because it is a nature week, so we have to do something activity about the nature. So if we go to the national park, we can gain more knowledge, especially about the nature, about the flora and fauna species. Go to the national park also can reduce stress due to nature extraction. As we know that if we look at the nature of the green color of the nature, it can reduce our stress. Besides that, in national park, we can do some activities that such as cave exploring, jungle trekking, and boat ride. For cave exploring, we can see many species of bats hanging in the cave. We can see the bats, how the bats sleep, how the cave is made of. We can know about this history of the cave. And for the jungle trekking, we can learn more about the flora and fauna species. And besides we can have a better teamwork, because in jungle trekking we will not do it alone, but we do it in a group. So if we do in the group, we will have by hook or by crook, we will have a teamwork to do the jungle trekking for the group safety. Beside that, having a trip to the national park, we will more appreciate about the beauty of nature, because the national park is a reserve forest. So there will be no illegal logging and so on, so we can see the true nature of the earth. So for me, I will choose a trip to the national park as the best activity to do in the nature week. So Dalia, what do you think about it?
Well, I do agree with your statement, but in my opinion, I think that having a recycling day is the best way to preserve our nature. I say that because, in my opinion, when we recycle, I think that everyone can actually participate in recycling, because it can be done anywhere. It doesn't matter where, like our houses, our school, our university. So people from all age, like the children, can encourage children to keep on recycling things so that they keep a good habit with them. And also people who are some people who are not able to participate in extreme activities such as camping, like what Yana said, they can also at home they can actually save some things for recycle. For example, they can save plastic, papers, used papers. And besides that, I also think that when we have a recycling day, like what Yana and Asma said, we can encourage people to unite with each other to actually participate in preserving the environment by recycling things. So it means that everyone gets to collect things, gets to collect plastic bottles or some newspapers, and then we help each other to gather them at one place to recycle them. And I also think that by recycling, you can actually save the environment by reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So as we know, like each day, as mankind produce plastic, they keep on releasing greenhouse gas emissions from the factories. So by recycling and by reusing the plastic bottles and stuff, we can actually reduce the bad impact towards the environment. So therefore, we can actually reduce air pollution by this method. So I think, in my very humble opinion, I think recycling is the best activity to do because it consumes the least cost, because it's something that we already have it and we just need to collect, and then we just need to recycle it, and it's also manageable by everyone at all ages. So I think that's all for me.
Like to choose in which activity that we can organize for our nature week. In my opinion, like I agree with Dalia's suggestion, which is to do recycling campaign or recycling. So for me, I'm voting for the recycling campaign. What do you guys think?
For me, I choose replanting because we can save our nature by produce more oxygen, and we have more catchment area. Also, that's why I choose replanting as the best activity for nature week.
Sorry, but for me, I do agree with the recycling day. But then, what that I'm concerned about is that how long will that awareness of recycling will remain among us? Like I mentioned earlier, like when we plant trees, our job is to take care of the trees, to make sure that the trees grow and will produce more oxygen for us for our own use. But then recycling is also a good thing. It's also a good idea. But then it's whether it is only within the nature week or would it continue later on. But that is my main concern. But then it's a partial agreement that I should agree, but then it's about the period of time that the recycling habit will keep on going on.
With Anisa's opinion just now, I can see this replanting activity in a big picture. So I think replanting, but now I think that replanting will give us more advantages than disadvantages. Like it will give more advantages than recycling will give. So I choose replanting. Asma's choosing replanting. And what about you, Dalia?
Well, I think everyone plays an important role in saving the environment. So I think that every method is very important. Each and everyone's method is very important in saving the environment for a better place for everyone. So that's all.
Which one do you choose?
Well, I think the best is definitely I think replanting trees is the best idea to do, because like what Anissa said, it actually helps the environment to recover itself from the temperature and from what the humankind has done this few years. So I think that replanting can actually recover the earth, by giving out more oxygen for us to live, and by reducing the temperature so that everyone can live comfortably in this place.
So guys, can I say that we are assuming that tree planting activity is the best activity for Nature Week, but then recycling habit is a must in our everyday life.
Yes.
So I guess that's all for our discussion, right?
Yes.
So
Alright. So we can start to make our paperwork now.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye guys.